Hey everybody, especially my ladies. So Avery and Easton just went to daycare, and I'm aware that, I look a little thrown together. This is my bed head. I got my coffee. It is 10:30. I am having a slow start to the morning. My ideal morning is to get up at 5 a.m. and crush the day, but I'm human and I do not wake up with motivation streaming out of my ass. So hey Trisha, hey Michelle. If you guys are hopping on live, please say hey. If you're watching the recording, say hey too. I get a lot of messages about HPV because I've made posts about it. I have HPV and I want to shed some light on this mystical creature that everybody is freaked out about and thinks that it's super rare. I want to tell you my experience and just some tips based off of my experience. So I'm not a doctor. I think people, hey Lauren, I think people forget that I'm not a doctor because I have all these random people messaging me, asking me like, should I tell my husband? Should I tell my boyfriend? Like, am I gonna die? And all this stuff. And I'm like, girlfriend, like, let's put on the brakes a little bit. First of all, I'm not a doctor. Second, like everyone's experience is different. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the education of HPV and then my experience with it. So I've always had pap smears my entire life. I was very routine about all of them. And I'm 31 now. I had a pap smear in spring or summer here of 2018. I think it was like June. And hey, Katie. And I got a phone call like a week later saying, you have HPV. I started shaking. I started crying. And I was like so freaked out because I had heard of HPV before. And I was like, oh my God, that's not good. Like, that's the cancerous one, right? Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, did Mike cheat on me? Like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like my mind went to this really dark place. And bless this doctor's heart, but she didn't really do a good job at educating me. And I get it. Like doctors are really busy. They have a lot of shit to do, but like they could have done a little bit better job at educating me on what this beast is. Because then of course, like I went to Google. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Jessica. Say hey if you're joining live or if you're watching the recording. I went to this dark place. And so I went to Google, of course. Worst, you guys know that that's not a good idea because if you go on Google, you think you're going to die like next week based off of what you read. So I talked to somebody. I dug up my records from before. I was like, why do I have HPV now? And, this awesome doctor from Mankato who I, used to go see for my pap smears, she described to me a little bit about HPV. And I was like, oh, thank God. So you guys, basically, in your 20s, you don't get tested for HPV unless you have an abnormal pap. I got tested for HPV at the age of 31 because after the age of 30 is when they start actively testing for HPV. Make sense? I had always had normal pap smears, so they didn't initiate testing for HPV until now that I'm over the age of 30, that's when they're doing that. Hey, Joshua. Hey, Kevin. So I talked to this doctor and she had said it is very common, you guys. In fact, 80% of people will get HPV at some point in their life. So there's like basically anyone who hopped on here probably has HPV. Not even kidding. Like right now, or you did and you didn't even know it and your body fought it off, or you're going to. Like it's just so common. Yes, it's a sexually transmitted disease, but it's not like the super nasty one you think about when you think of STD. It's just extremely common, extremely, extremely. So I wanted to let you guys know, like, it's okay. It's okay that you have it. I have HPV right now. Maybe my body's fought it off in the last few months, which it can fight it off. Usually your body fights it off over time because it recognizes it and it's like, get this shit out of here. But the doctor that I talked to, she was like, set up a colposcopy. And a colposcopy is just a fancy word for an extended vaginal test. So it freaked me out. I was so afraid to go in. Luckily, I was able to get in really soon. Hey, Marina. Oh, Marina, just talking about my vagina here. No big deal, you know. Hey, Jenna. I'm real with you guys, you know. I like to talk about this stuff because so many women have HPV. So, a colposcopy is just a pap smear that is prolonged. I was so afraid it was going to be painful. You guys, I worried myself sick. Like, I can talk so nonchalantly about this right now, but it is such a scary thing. I freaked myself out. I was a worry wart. I was chicken little. You guys, I thought I had cancer. Like, I went to such a bad place. I lost sleep over it. It affected my ability to show up in my business. Like, I still showed up, but I was not mentally good. So, I went in for a colposcopy, and they just lay you down like a regular pap smear, and this is going to sound bad, but it doesn't hurt. They put acid in you, and it allows like any precancerous or cancerous cells to like show. Nothing showed for me, thank God. Thank God. But then they will scrape a little bit, and again, that sounds like it hurts. It doesn't. They scrape some cells, and they send it off to the lab to get tested. And longest week of my life, but they called back and they said I wasn't the high risk strain. I don't have precancerous cells, thank God. But you guys, there are over 100 strains of HPV. So when I say HPV is this very like broad spectrum animal, I mean it. There's about 13 high risk strains. So like precancerous, cancerous type high risk strains. All you people asking me if I had my vaccination done, no, I didn't. And even if I did, it wouldn't have protected me. Okay, I want to make that very clear. There's a lot of pressure to get the vaccination done. I don't regret not getting it. Let me just put it that way, okay? Just because you get the vaccine does not mean it's going to protect you against the high-risk strain either, because that's all it's in place for, is to protect you from the high-risk strains. But I know people who got the vaccination done and still got the high-risk strain. So just wanted to put that out there, because a lot of people message me and be like, well, did you get the vaccination done? Well, shame on you. No, girl, like even if I did, I still would probably have it right now. You too. So not going to touch more on that subject because we all know how touchy that one is. But so yeah, thank God mine was not high risk. But you guys, I want to give you some staggering statistics here, and hopefully this can motivate you to get routine on your PAPs. Please, ladies, if you are in your early 20s, your mid 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, whatever, and you have not been good about getting your PAPs done, please do not listen to them when they say, wait 5 years. You guys, anything can happen in 1 year. Anything can happen in 3 years. 5 years, you can be dead and not even know that you had a cancerous HPV strain or cancer in general, right? So get your asses in there and get your pap smear done. You know, 47% of women diagnosed with cervical cancer, and HPV can cause cervical cancer, are under the age of 35. Let me say that again. 47% of women diagnosed with cervical cancer are under the age of 35. 33% of women diagnosed with cervical cancer will die from it within 5 years. Cervical cancer is the 4th most common and 4th most deadly cancer in women, okay? So ladies, get your routine pap smears done and save your life, okay? No, it's not every 3 months. No, it's like every 3 years, I think. I can't remember, you guys, there's so many like timelines on things, but I'm a freak about cancer. Like I'm chicken little. You guys, if you don't know me yet, I'm a worry wart. I'm a chicken little. I am anxiety ridden. I'm trying to be better. It's just me, okay? If someone says come back in 5 years, I'll see you next year. Like, I love you doctors, any medical people watching, but I don't trust you. I really don't. Like, yeah, no. I'm gonna go in every year and get my pap smear done. And they even recommend that. They recommend like, yeah, come in and let's make sure that this is going away, that this isn't turning into precancerous cells. Yeah, same, Marina. And you guys, it turns out that like, this really wasn't a big deal. Obviously, it's not a big deal now because I'm okay, but I totally get it. Like when you are waiting for those test results, when you hear that you have HPV, you're naturally going to think like you have cancer, right? Like you're naturally going to think like I have the one of the 13 high risk strains out of the 100 plus. Because that's just our brains are meant to make us survive, right? Our brains are not meant to make us happy. Our brains are here to help us survive as human species. So like we're naturally chicken littles, but I want to really, really urge you guys to not sweat anything that you can't control. Okay, like I lost sleep, I got sick, I was so stressed out. Mike had to tell me to calm the F down because I was so stressed out about this. Same thing when I had a mole on my back and I started to have a white halo around a mole on my back that was getting bigger. I immediately thought I had melanoma. I went in, got a biopsy, had to wait 2 weeks, longest of my life. But everything was fine, but it was a higher risk. Like it was a high chance of it turning into melanoma, so I just got the mole removed. But of course, like I thought that I had cancer. Hey, Denise. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Kayla. Brittany, Danielle, what's up, girls? So you cannot control certain things, so don't freak out about it. It's easier said than done because I naturally freak out about things, but I just want to say from one stressed out person, like anxiety-ridden person to another, control the controllables. and live your freaking life, because if you're waiting to live your life in 2 weeks after you get your test results back, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Enjoy your life today. It's my biggest recommendation. I was so relieved when I got those test results, but then I thought immediately about how I just wasted my life the previous 2 weeks worrying about nothing. And I know that not everybody's scenario is nothing. Some women get those results back and they're high risk. Some women get those results back and they have cancer. So it is something to be cautious of. But can I control what those test results are going to be? No. So like, don't worry about it. But I want to urge you guys, just because I have HPV now, it does not mean that Mike cheated on me. It doesn't mean I cheated on Mike. Anybody that I had sex with in my early 20s, I could have gotten it from, and it could have taken years to show up. Do I need to say that again? Can I say that 2 times, 3 times? Did you hear that? So many women that message me think that their husband cheated on them, or their boyfriend cheated on them, or they're afraid to tell their boyfriend and husband because they're afraid that their boyfriend and husband are going to think that they're dirty and that the woman cheated. You guys know, like, no. I hope from what I just said about how common this is, that relieves any concern that you have about that. More than likely, me and Mike are playing tag because we're married. We have sex. We're married. Like, I know it's not, we have 2 kids. I know it's surprising we have sex. So we're probably tag teaming it a little bit, you know, like, but the body will naturally fight it off typically. But I do need to go back and make sure that my body is fighting it off and that it's not getting worse. Are you feeling me? Am I making sense to you guys? Give me a shout out. Give me an amen if this is making sense. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything there is to know about HPV. I just know my experience and the research that I've done with a doctor, not Google. Don't Google shit. I'm just telling you, like, my experience, because much like there is misconceptions and assumptions with pregnancy and working out and breastfeeding and working out and diet and all that stuff, this is a very commonly misconstrued topic, HPV is. So if you guys have any questions about HPV, feel free to message me, but like, don't come to me as if I'm a doctor, because I'm not going to be able to answer your questions. And I also can't tell you if you're going to die or not from it. I'm sorry, but like, I just don't, I'm not a psychic either. It's kind of cute, the things that women come to me with. I'm like, oh my God, this is, it's almost like I feel like I'm God or something. No, I'm not. I'm here for encouragement, but I can't give you answers really, but to just talk to your doctor and make sure you get a colposcopy done. So, hey, Ashley. But if you guys have any questions about, like I said, pregnancy, breastfeeding, I exclusively breastfed this entire year with Avery. Went back to my pre-baby bod weight, like a few days after delivery, kept my milk supply up just fine while exercising intensely 5 days, 6 days a week. Yeah, I know there's a lot of misconceptions about that. So if you have any questions, Mama, message me. Hey, Becky, because I'm extremely passionate about that topic. A lot of women think that they can't like work out when they're breastfeeding or that their milk supply is going to drop, which it can, but you have to have the right tools to help you with the journey. And that's what I'm here for. That's why I do the lifestyle that I do, is because it educates me. It gives me the tools and resources along with my encouragement for you. So again, that's just, I help you based off my personal experience, and I've worked closely with the lactation consultants and a pediatrician and all that. So I'm here for you, girl. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot to mention about HPV. I'm fine. I probably still have it right now. My body is probably in the works of fighting it off. Maybe in the next year and a half, it'll be gone. Who knows? But I'm definitely going to go in every year for a pap smear. So ladies, I can't say this enough. Please go in and get your regular pap smears done. Do not skip. Do not even wait the amount of years that they recommend, because I've seen a lot of crap happen. I've seen my girlfriends in their early mid-30s get breast cancer, and they don't even recommend mammograms until the age of 40. So you tell me, right? Yeah, just look out for yourself and just do your homework, do your research, do your job, and don't trust doctors all the time. You gotta make sure that you're doing your due diligence and taking care of yourself as well. It's nobody's job to take care of you. You gotta take care of yourself. Okay, hope that could shed some light. You guys are not abnormal after all. You're not gross and dirty and slutty. You're amazing just the way you are. And I proudly own that I have HPV, because anybody who would trash talk me, nobody ever has. But if anyone ever said something to me about it, I'd be like, girlfriend, you should probably go get tested, because you probably have it. So, all right, guys, hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Feel free to message me at any time.